Welcome to CryptoBites. Today I'm going to touch on an article that reads, it's on CoinDesk by the way, it reads, Cryptocurrencies have failed the test of digital money, MAS Managing Director says. So why do I want to touch on that? In our weekly sharing, starting from the first one that we go all the way down to the basic of Bitcoin and what is cryptocurrency, what is consensus mechanism, and what's double spending. We've gone through all that. And one of the slides that we have gone through is the transaction per second. Whether Bitcoin, to start with, was it meant to be a mode of payment? And obviously, when we talk about that, we cannot miss the Bitcoin white paper, right? So when you look at the Bitcoin white paper, by the way, if you haven't read it, please Google it, download it. It's only a 9-pager. And if it's just too much for you, just read the beginning and the ending, the conclusion and abstract. That's enough for the start. And you will realize that as you go through it, there are a lot of keywords like peer-to-peer, the trustless trust, are in a lot of business model of crypto company and blockchain company. So going back to the slide that I want to talk about, which is the transaction per second. Transaction per second for Bitcoin is 7, right? And Ethereum is 15. And we look at credit cards, is anywhere from around 20,000 per second. And for Alipay, I don't have the exact number, it should be hovering around 500,000 transactions per second. So right in the beginning, by design, Bitcoin was not meant to be a mode of payment. It wasn't designed like that. So a lot of times when I have friends or I have the naysayer of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin coming to me and say, this is set up for failure. Bitcoin only can transact 7 transactions per second. It will never replace currency. It was never meant to be. And when they say that, they will say, oh, there is no underlying use cases and there is no way to find out what is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin, for example. And with that, they started to think that whatever is happening or the price or the demand in the Bitcoin ETF is just a passing phase. Is it? Let's go back to the white paper. So if you have read about it, let me emphasize, Bitcoin was a store of value. It was designed to be a store of value and not as a mode of payment. So whenever you read an article like that, it is what it is. Bitcoin, as a currency itself or as a cryptocurrency itself, wasn't meant to replace our currency, the fiat currency that we're using. And it wasn't meant, again, to be used to buy day-to-day stuff or as a mode of payment. It is very powerful in other ways. For example, a store of value. So when you read article like that, just be careful that you are not being over negative. The media will sensationalize the negativity and makes you wonder whether there is real innovation, which there is. So I will urge that if you are first looking into the space or very new to the space, download the Bitcoin white paper, read about it, and find out what is the real innovation behind the Bitcoin blockchain system.